Hello YouTube. Oh man, your boy is tired. Before I start this video, I want to give each and every one of you a sincere thank you. I want to thank you for the outpouring of love and support over my last reaction video. I want to thank all of you who took the time to watch my new Journey with Grief video, 1000 Days. If that sort of personal short form essay type of content is something that you found interesting, that's actually the 20th video in that series. My channel actually started with the Journey with Grief series. It's definitely been a rough few days for me, but you guys made it a lot less rough, and I really do appreciate that. As promised, I'm continuing on with my Tales reaction. Specifically, we're going to do Violet's tale today. Some of you were less than happy that I only watched Ginny's tale and Screech's tale, and to that I say, you'll be okay. I was originally only planning to do Jenny's tale, and I just got so sucked into it that I had to do Screech's also. But that said, I was already in an emotional state because of the day. It wasn't the easiest thing to sit through, and I don't regret only doing two. I feel like that was a good way for me personally to start. As a peace offering, I put out a poll on my channel to ask you guys, okay, should I go back and watch the first two again before watching Violet's, or should I just skip it and go straight into Violet's tale? Nearly 900 of you voted, which is crazy, and even though it wasn't a landslide victory, the majority of you wanted me to go back and watch and react to all three at once, so that's what we're going to do today. Now, in the event that watching me react to the first two tales again doesn't interest you, there's a timestamp in the description of this video where you can just go ahead and skip to Violet's tale, and I have no problem with that. A lot of people also really wanted me to go back and watch the Screech's Tale Instagram stories. It's nearly 12 minutes long, and I don't mind doing that, but I don't think I'm going to react to it. Most of you seem to carry the sentiment that it would help enrich the story for me moving forward, but that it's not really something that I needed to stop and react to. So before we go any further, that's what I'm doing right now. I'll see you guys back here in 11 minutes and 44 seconds. 12 minutes later. You know where I'm not a good reaction tuber, guys? Because time and time again, I am left dumbfounded by Ren. Time and time again, I find myself just thinking and wanting to say the same thing. How does he do it? How did one person's mind end up with so much creativity? That was such an interesting and unique way for him to do storytelling. Ren is a singer, rapper, songwriter, motivational speaker, actor. That was so cool, and I'm so glad that you guys told me to watch that before I did anything else. Alright, let's actually get into why most of you are here, and I'm going to continue my journey into the Tales series. And as always, before we start, a quick mental health check. If you're not doing okay mentally, especially if you feel like you might hurt yourself or somebody else, stop this video and go get help. Find a trusted friend, family member, medical provider, or reach out to your region's suicide and crisis help service. I promise you that the world is a better place with you in it, and I'm so happy you're here. Alright, we're picking back up with Jenny's tale. Let's see how I do with it this time, now that I've seen it and I've had a few days to process and reflect. I love these intros.
It was a quiet, dark night in an empty street somewhere in London City. Jenny walked alone, she was dragging her feet. She was heading back home to sleep. Well, she knew this town, she knew this floor, because she walked it about 1,000 times before. She wanted to escape. Can you blame?
So I'm catching more things that I didn't really pay attention to or didn't make a note of in the first time I watched this. One thing I'm really admiring about this the second time around is the locale that he chose to shoot this. You know, even though he's like walking through these backstreet areas in both the Jenny and Screech videos, the lighting is different, the mood is different, and a lot of this artwork, all this graffiti, a lot of it's really cool, and it really adds like a layer of charm and uniqueness to this. I'm really digging it.
Well, on the very same night, in a different place, there was this hooded young youth by the name of James. He was 14 years old and out of his brain, he'd been smoking ganja with the boys. James, he grew up to be a kid of the street. His mates called him Screech, he was quick on his feet. He was a liar, a thief, at 14 years old, the devil had set his sights on his soul.
All right, I promise I'm not going to keep pausing this frequently, but again, having gone through and watched all the Instagram stories now, which by the way, must have been crazy to see live and in person on Ren's Instagram page when they debuted. Like, that's... But one thing that I said about Screech during my last reaction was that there are other factors that had to be considered before just labeling him a bad person. And it's like I said, clearly he was mentally unwell. Clearly he was struggling with substance abuse. One thing that I hadn't even considered was like his home life and child abuse. And that was all very clearly demonstrated in those IG stories. So I really appreciate that Ren let us peek behind the curtain with this character. And then again, even though he's not afraid to address some of these difficult subjects, he does so in a way that really leaves you thinking.
As Jenny walked home all alone, she felt scared. Usually she was alright, but it was like there was something in the air. A divine intervention telling her to beware, maybe intuition bogging her and making her so scared. Sirens sound in the distance with the beat of Jenny's feet. A symphony of the night that echoes crime on London streets. Jenny turns a corner, their eyes they meet. Up or go Jenny, a boy named Screech. Give me all your money, bitch, give it to me. If you cooperate, then you'll soon be free. I want your purse, your phone, don't fucking look at me. I mean it, bitch, are you listening to me? Jenny freezes statue like a lady shakes stalactite. Feel like liquid nitrogen in the dark night. She tried to find strength to move, but stayed as still as a statue in high-heeled shoes. What the hell you playing at? You playing games with me? I swear to fucking God, I'll slice the rosy off your cheeks. You think I don't mean it, go? You don't know me. The last thing you see will be a boy code. Screech reached with the sheath of the blade, with the teeth that could bite through steel and slice concrete, and he swung possessed with the devil in his chest, and the statue she was turned to butter in her breath. It was a quiet dark night in an empty street somewhere in London City. Jenny lay still on the cold concrete, she's found somewhere to sleep. Well, she knew this town, she knew this floor, 'cause she'd walked it about 1,000 times before. I guess that she escaped. It's such a shame.
So like, see how different the lighting is in this video? There's so many parallels, but there's also just this very intentional shift in tone.
Our story, it starts right at the end of the life of poor Jenny, clocked out like Big Ben. This Screech, dear boy, where did he go? He melted into the black night just like snow. Patrick, man, let me in, please open the door. I think I fucked up, Patrick, really fucked up, man, I'm not sure.
So I'll tell you guys, I consider myself a pretty empathetic person. I mean, literally, like, during my analysis and reflection, I was trying to find reasons to, again, not defend Screech or excuse his behavior, but understand it, right? That's really what empathy is about. It's not about being sympathetic to somebody. It's about being able to put yourself in their shoes and understand what they're going through. That said, during like the first half of those Instagram stories, I had a really hard time being empathetic to Screech. He was very abusive to his friends and his girlfriend, and him pushing Patrick around and calling him little Patrick, like, it just really bothered me. I don't know. I think part of it is I don't have very much sensitivity to bullies specifically. I've always sort of felt that way even from a young age, but bullying was a factor in my daughter's suicide, and so I just don't have any tolerance for bullies or deadbeat dads.
I got crazy, left this lady lying still on the floor. I think I killed her, Patrick, come on man, I can't knock no more. But Screech kept on knocking till his knuckles became sore. But there's no sign of Patrick down at number 54. No refuge for our villain, for the bitter hands of fate, with something far more sinister in mind that does away. Hey, babe, you in? No, nothing really. I'm just a bit tired. Listen, can I swing around yours for a few moments? I just really miss you, babe. What the fuck do you mean you're busy? You fucking bitch! For fuck's sakes! Siren sounds approaching like a banshee in the night. The shrill cry of justice cutting like the sharpest knife. But Screech was never one to run, not one to miss a fight. One hand upon his blade, he turned to face the blue lights. Come on then, you fucking cunts, let's fucking have you then. I am Screech, I'm the boss, I'm the ender of men. You think that uniform you're wearing means that you own these streets? These are my fucking streets, and they call me fucking Screech. Richard was an officer who stood at 6 foot 3.
All right, this is another thing that I'm paying a little bit more attention to the second time around, is a lot of you said, hey, Matt, the cop's name is Richard, and you need to pay attention to that. So I'm paying attention to that. I also have a theory about who Violet could be, because she's not mentioned by name up to this point. But I'm not going to say anything yet.
In London on the night shift, what he didn't think he'd see was a boy running at him like an animal possessed. With no time to hesitate, he fired 4 bullets at Screech's chest.
That's so clever.
Story, it ends right at the start. Young Screech and poor Jenny lying 1 street apart. An officer shaken by the boy that he claimed. 2 bodies lay lifeless, and it's such a shame. It's such a shame.
Okay, I don't have anything to say. I just we have a term in the military, tactical pause. I am taking a very brief tactical pause. Everybody warned me that this was the hardest one to watch. I think one person said Screech dials it up 1 from Jenny's tale, and Violet's tale dials it up 5 from Screech's tale. I'm sure I'm not ready for this, but 100 of you said nobody's ever ready for this, so here we go. This one's long. Hell yeah, brother. God, there's just something about seeing Ren in a hospital gown with an acoustic guitar that just takes me right back to Hi Ren. I know I haven't been on the Ren journey that long, but I don't know, it's weird. Like, it feels so familiar to me. It feels like I've connected with him in such a way that I've known him and his work much longer than I actually have. Haunting.
London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. Rhythmic beats and bloodstained sheets, Our Lady weeps, she's tired and frail. To set the scene, we must rewind the hands of time for Violet's tale.
Oh, that's so cool. God, he's so clever, guys.
Violet was a silent girl, grew up with violent starts. Her mother was a drinker and her father was a bastard. Every night he took her tie but never left the room. I'll spare you with the things he did, I'm sure her mother knew. Violet was a
Oh, damn it. What did I just say about bullies and deadbeat dads? I don't know, it's one thing to be a deadbeat. It's another thing if you are an abuser. Those people get a whole other separate place in hell, in my opinion. This is going to be hard for me, guys, because, one thing that a lot of people don't think about when you lose a family member, especially a child, to suicide, is the first thing that happens is all these police show up to your house and there's an investigation. If you want to talk about throwing gasoline on the fire of trauma, let's talk about the police. You guys have to understand, 20 minutes after finding my daughter's body, I was being pulled out of my house by detectives and questioned as a murder suspect. And even though it was very clear what happened and I was never put in jail or anything, there was an investigation that went on for several months. That was and still is a pretty difficult thing for me to contend with. And I don't blame the detectives because everybody there was just doing their job. And I understand there are some really bad things that happen. There are some really bad people and really bad parents who do murder their children. But I don't know, just the thought that I would ever do anything less than protect my children with everything that I have, that added an extra layer of hurt. And again, I have a soft spot for children, but especially little girls.
Island girl, she moved out at 16. A semi-detached council flat, paid for by a welfare scheme. Packing shelves at Tesco, stacking jars like pickled bricks. She met a boy named Stevie and he was a little prick. Violet was a silent girl and Violet, she fell fast.
All right, again, I'm sorry to pause so quickly, but my theory was that Violet was Screech's girlfriend. Even during the Instagram stories, he never referred to her by name. It was always just babe and I love you. And so I thought maybe we were going to get the original story kind of from a third angle, but now it sounds like Violet is just this separate character and not who I thought she was. Oh well.
See, Stevie was the wrong and but he sure knew how to charm her. Every night he took her tie but never left the room. History repeats itself, he'd paint her black and blue and dark. She never stood a chance. The devil comes to dance. Violet, why are you always so quiet? On her bedroom door and he's irate. He's been drinking and smoking, he's up late. And he stands by her bedside, she shakes, but her eyes stay shut. You fucking slut, I know you're up. And he pinches her eyelids and folds them up. Violet, Why you lying to me, Violet? She stays silent, things turn violent. That's the sound of his fists when they fall like a crashing pilot. Hit like hailstones, one to the collarbone, full force, full blown, blood's black bone, crack, knick, knack, paddywhack, one to the jaw when the tooth's back, detached, fist connects and disconnects a bone. A quick deflect to misdirect the blow, but nonetheless his punches met her throat. Such a mess, he's left her bruised and broke. Violet, why you always so silent, Violet? Why you such a little liar, Violet? Do you think I wanna do this, Violet? In character, she stays silent. Well, say something, Violet. Silence. Fucking say something, Violet. Silence. Wait. Say something, Violet. Not one word. She stays quiet. London city, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. The doctor, in a state of shock, saw something here so very wrong. See, Violet, she was pregnant. Poor Violet, she was 9 months gone. Turning to the doctor, Violet broke her silence and she cried, if I'm to die right here tonight, please let my baby stay alive.
And there it is. That's why you guys said I wasn't ready. That's why you guys said I would never be ready. That's why you guys said this one dials it up 5 from Screech's Tale. I know a lot of bad stuff happens in this world. I've been deployed. I've been to third world countries where I saw babies naked in the streets digging through garbage. I've seen my own child dead. It doesn't seem to matter how much of the world's badness that I'm exposed to. It always gets me. It always breaks me down. It always makes me sad. It always makes me wish that it didn't have to be this way. All I gotta say, family, is I really hope the next life is better than this.
The doctor soon regained composure, called the surgeon to come in. As Violet's world turned to black, the curtains closed, the lights went dim. In London city, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington just lost the fight to stay alive. A tragedy or a miracle, it happened on these very streets. Two twins lying side by side. A girl named Jenny and a boy named Screech.
You've got to be fucking kidding me. I have so many questions. So Jenny and Screech, James, were siblings? Twins? But they didn't know about each other? They didn't know who the other was? I guess, I mean, if their mother died, they could have been put into foster care and, like, separated. I mean, that happens here in the States sometimes. I don't know how the system works overseas. What the hell? Guys, I'm gonna be messed up about this for days. You know what I want you guys to do? Jump in the comments and recommend a happy song to me next. I need a happy Ren song in my life after this as a palate cleanser. Like, I already don't really sleep well as it is, and I'm gonna lose sleep over this. I think the craziest thing about it is, again, I am just awestricken at how smart Ren is. How can somebody be this clever and this creative and this talented? I said in my last reaction that if he and Sam made like a full-length 90-minute movie about this, that I would watch it. I am doubling down on that stance now. Oh my god. Like I'm sweating. I broke out in a sweat. Like I need to go sit in the shower. You know, usually at the end of these reaction videos, I try to sort of like gather my thoughts, give a little bit of critique, reflect on what I just watched, share how I'm feeling. I don't even know how to begin that right now. I understand why Violet's tale is third in this trilogy. I understand why she isn't mentioned in the first two. I understand why we only see who is presumably Screech's father, or adoptive father, I don't know, in the Instagram stories. You know, guys, I took a vow of sobriety after my daughter died. And not that I've ever had a problem with drinking, but I just knew it was something that wouldn't be conducive to me and my healing and my grief, and I stand by that. It's just not for me. But if future Matt, who's editing this, wants to help me out and put that meme up here of the guy who's just like perplexed and in disbelief and lost in thought with the bottles of alcohol around him, that's how I'm feeling right now, I guess minus the alcohol. And what's even crazier is that I know that the tales continue on. I know that there's a lot more of these and he's still making these. And I know you guys have said, like, as far as the painful stuff, like, he dials it way back in more of the Tales series moving forward. But honestly, like, I don't know how he could ever one-up himself with this. Like, as far as just pure storytelling goes, is this his magnum opus? Is this it? Is Violet's Tale Ren's Ninth Symphony? I don't know, guys. Like I said, I'm sweaty and my back hurts, and I don't know, I feel like I need to go lie down in the dark. If you're also inclined, please share with me what you went through the first time that you listened to these 3 songs. And again, thank you for everybody who's helped guide me on this part of the journey. I'm gonna go think about my life a little bit, but I appreciate you being here and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you on the next one, and in the meantime, as always, please take care and remember to love yourself.